but bad, I don't think so. I'm excited to talk
Absolutely
about
not.
Dragon Ball Z fight.
All right, very aggressive start so far from Chilo Feed. That is some good old sumo pressure coming, and KAIN is having a hard time catching up, but already Honda in burnout, thrown right across the screen. No trouble recovering there.
Yes, of course. You know, sometimes when you play Honda, you have the one brain cell rattling around, like you're shaking around a bunch of pennies in like a very large jar, right? If you ever know what that sounds like, that's pretty much how you'll see that go with the Honda, right? He's playing a lot. He's playing very, very aggressive, very in the face of his opponent. He sort of just wants to keep him at bay. Sort of just wants to force him to like block a lot of this stuff. He doesn't mind putting himself in the corner either, because I mean, hey, KAIN's the one that's burned up.
Absolutely. If it's a single-minded trick and it works, it's not single-minded now, is it? But KAIN's starting to get a bit more offense in now and starting to get back into this, but here comes the headbutt again. The Tachi is there, getting some sandblasts in. Get back away from me, he says, getting away from the sumo pressure, but we are back in a reset, and that is not going to go KAIN's way.
Love it. Using the drive. Absolutely using the drive rush to make sure that they can actually check in case they did go for the drive impact. When if they do take the bait, then you're talking about a situation where KAIN actually ends up drive impacting back, right? Just a, sort of a lot of RPS going on in Street Fighter for sure, but a command grab is going to put him in a little bit of a precarious position.
Absolutely, and he might be waiting for Chilo to overextend a bit, because you can see that Chilo just never stops pressing buttons. He's got the headbutts, he's got the drive rushes, even in burnout he takes the fight to KAIN, but there is a certain point where that has diminishing returns, isn't there?
There is. There absolutely is. There is a time where that absolutely is the case, but it's not going to be this game, that's for sure, because the first one already seems to be going to Chilo. Yeah, I think that what's super interesting about that is a lot of the pressure. KAIN's getting knowledge checked on a variety of different things. I mean, of course, that you can actually anti-air Honda's butt slam. You just have to be able to delay it a little bit in terms of your anti-air. A DP wouldn't be as consistent, but a crouch heavy punch would. It wouldn't put you in as too bad of a spot either, I would say, despite the fact that you're running the risk of getting counter hit, but you have the ability to be able to anti-air that. And a lot of it is like KAIN is not pressing a lot because they're looking for more opportunities to where they're like, okay, I feel comfortable with this.
Yeah, and you saw them try that flash knuckle, that rising knuckle. It just was not there. Chilo read that like a book. He is getting a bit of offense, and KAIN is getting these combos going. But, you know, you can see him kind of overthinking his moves. He's trying to find these openings and create them. He's doing okay now. This is going his way this round. That's a good KO to get his momentum back. But he's got to make more rounds like that happen. He can't be sitting back waiting for Chilo to stop pressing buttons. Chilo's not going to stop pressing buttons.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, we see the same strategy that KAIN used with the drive rush, medium punch, into drive impact, just trying to check and see what it is that his opponent was going to do. Chilo does the same thing, a drive impact to sort of close out the round as well to find the finishing blow. I love the fact that KAIN actually did manage to get a shimmy off, which means that it does show that Chilo is looking for a lot more of those throw loops. It is that's very, very prominent in this game, so that's sort of what he's looking for. You have to be a little bit more careful about actually trying to go for a throw or trying to tech them, because the mental stack in this game is very, very high.
Oh, absolutely. It looks exhausting to watch. It's exhausting to play. I'm remembering sets I played in Street Fighter V ranked where I was just tired and I had to stop because I couldn't think anymore. Street Fighter V is even more so. Street Fighter 6 is even more so. It's the mental stack is so
way with knowing your character's game plan and sort of just riding through with that, but the upper echelon of play will understand that there are answers for a variety of different situations, and there's just not one concrete answer.
Absolutely. And speaking of not one answer, Marissa Papa being bullied so far by Lord Meko T, you know, that's kind of the opposite of what you usually see. Marissa has this reputation as this big, threatening bruiser of a character. You don't get a turn. But I say that, maybe I just commentators cursed it, because here Papa comes. Lord Meko getting driven back to the corner and having a bit of a hard time getting out.
So far, I would never call Marissa out. I mean, the damage it is that she's able to actually withdraw is super huge. This could be death, genuinely.
It could be. It could be. With Marissa, it's like you get touched once, and there's half your life gone. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Gets the KO even in burnout. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, you can actually do level. Level 1 super to be able to actually get the kill there too, like off of the ground bounces that she has. You could have ended it a little bit early, but Even the fade up to the gods, I understand. You know, you don't really want to be in the situation where you are feeling as uncomfortable as you could be. Tries to use the wake up super.
Well, whiffs the super while we're talking about that. That is going to be a critical error. Lord Mako T getting away with this, but taking a big, hefty beating in turn. Not going to be counted out. Papa is back, not going anywhere. Well, unless Lord Mako T has something to say about it.
It was a good jump in from Mako, honestly. I think it was really good to be able to see a lot of this sort of reserved play style from Jury. I mean, this is one of the top tier characters, right? Even though it's only 2 weeks into the game, it's still very infantile stages. This character puts on a lot of pressure and applies a lot of it very, very dangerously.
I like how willing people are to spend their supers and their critical arts and their levels of all sorts throughout the game's history so far. People see that bar, they are instantly spending that. And sure, there's something to be said for economy, but I like how it's encouraging people to take risks. You not see people just turtle.
What's actually super interesting about that as well is that we're sort of just seeing is that, like, we had seen it a little bit before in the previous match with Luke and Honda, was that drive rush into medium punch to be able to check and see what their opponent is going to do, test the waters with that, right? And I think what's unfortunate is that they actually led with drive rush fierce, and since she didn't charge it, it wasn't plus. And if you try and drive impact off of it, you'll get the follow-up. You won't actually get the drive impact.
Yep, a good patient play from Lord Mako there, getting that big beating, but waiting for their opportunity, finding it with the throw tech, and now look at how the tables turn. That is a juicy combo, keeping Marissa, keeping Papa pinned into the corner, and those low jabs are just not doing a whole lot to get her out of there.
Nice, yeah, I like it. Mako's sort of playing a little bit more of this backwards style, just trying to see if they can escape, see what buttons it is. Make Papa come to them, pretty much. Make Marissa come to them. You want to be in a situation like that because of how strong her low forward is. Jury has wonderful buttons for standing medium punches +2. You want to be able to actually utilize that and not in a way that's to your detriment, especially when you're in burnout.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mako is really excelling at using their burnout to their advantage. Like, you don't see them going, oh, I burned out, and kind of giving up and taking their lumps. They play with the range, they mix their opponent up, they use these dive kicks, they know what they've got and when to spend it, and also when to back off a little.
Yeah, exactly. Using the Superman punch once again. Try to see if they can do it. Actually whiffs, but it actually works out for a certain effect that the parry wasn't actually able to stop the advantage here. Love the check on that. Love the check. Being more aware of the fact that Mako's trying to get in, trying to sneak in a couple of these dashes here and there, but trying to stall things out for the most part is Papa. So using his crouch light punch to keep them from getting too close all the time.
Yep. Feels like how the characters would actually fight, you know, Mako being this incredibly sneaky, shifty, poke you to death character, and Papa just trying to bulldoze right through it, which is not really going his way so far, managing to get the punish counter and driving Mako back, but we got a bit of a reset to neutral now. They are kind of sizing each other up, and Lord Mako T taking to the air yet again.
What's so messed up about this situation is the fact that I'm seeing, like, literally, like, this is... Jury's not in kill radius, but she, like Jury's not a kill radius for her own combos, but one confirmed from Marissa would put her in the gulag, right? Like, that's just sort of the unfortunate thing is that you have to deal with when you're fighting up against this character. You have to deal with that big damage, which is why Mako's opting to go a little bit more passive, but an interestingly timed jump in with the level 3 is going to be enough to close out the game.
Yep, and that's actually going to be it. GG Mako.
I actually like how they were playing the burnout situation as well. A lot of the situations it is that he's going to be able to put you into, it's kind of unfortunate when you have to look at this, because you even see, like, even though it's sped up a little bit, you see the fact that Ken had to walk back a lot of the time. Those buttons are not anything to play with. It's great drop impact to get off started with the first combo of this game.
Yeah, and that machine gun upper is so nasty. Such a, I almost said a cheap way. That's not fair. It's such a clean way to take the momentum away from your opponent and deal so much guaranteed damage. And it feels like every time I see that machine gun upper come out, the opponent is left at a loss for words. They're like, oh my gosh, what do I do against that?
And this was actually super interesting as well. As I like how they utilized the sway. They used the EX not to get the conversion, but to set up for a low overhead mix, right? And since they got hit by the EX low, they were able to confirm into something that netted them the round. I think that's a very, very good utilization and great way to be able to punish him for his jump in.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was true in Street Fighter 5, it's true in Street Fighter 6. You can't let Ken get away with anything. You can't let him wind up the chainsaw with those jump-ins, with the tatsus, with the dragon punches, his new kicks. You just can't let him get away with anything. And AMIGO voluntarily going into Burnout to try to steal the cage, try to keep him trapped in there. It almost didn't work out, but he's on his way to a clean 2-0 in this first game of the first to 2 set. Here we go. Here comes the super. Say it with me, chat.
I think it's absolutely wonderful to be able to not only confirm off of that light kick, but to be ready to do so, right? A lot of the times, even if something CEO earlier today.
And trust your game plan, and remember what tools you have at your disposal while trying to back your opponent into a situation where every move they make is a losing move. And look at this incredibly aggressive start from AMIGO Pool.
This is absolutely the most unfortunate thing it is that I see, because if you block the overhead, it's -1. If you block the low and EX, it's -1. So what can I do about that? Nothing. Sit there a second. You're in the duel.
They call that Zugzwang, where every move you make is a losing move.
Yeah, like it is unfortunate to be in a scenario like this. Great throw as well. Into the corner. Okay, nice tossing him up. Not getting the throw. Great anti-air. I love the response on that. Absolutely. This is guess what game for either side.
Either side already, and this is what I was talking about, that you can't let Ken get away with anything. AMIGO Pool squeaking that out, getting onto set point, but Freddy came alive out of nowhere. He was mixing AMIGO Pool up like he was in grand finals just half an hour ago or whenever. That was just some crazy liveliness from Freddy, and it shows that at any moment, any character, any player in this game is a live wire. The game's not over until the screen says it is.
Great air to air. Absolutely, get off DP. Make sure you don't actually have any way to sort of maintain that pressure it is that we're seeing. A lot of jumps coming in from Ken, but not anything that's really going to stick here. Blow the pump, slow on drive gauge, into the corner, but be careful about doing that drive impact. Great air to air as well, just to try and fight things out. And I mentioned it, the drive impact, you have to be careful. Now you're back to the wall against DJ, and this is not a chance you have to be able to get out of the corner.
That is gonna be it, I think. I don't think there's any coming back from that. There is not. GG's AMIGO Pool, and that there is a lesson in drive meter awareness. Stay in the fight no matter what. And we've got some sumo spirit against the spirit of the Amazon. Fox on Blanca, beware illusion on Honda. Let's go.
Are looking for different opportunities to try and see if they can space anything out. Both of them actually, funnily enough, rely on their horizontal special moves. In Honda's case, it's headbutt. In Blanca's case, it's Blanca ball. So a lot of the times you'll see a situation where I'll end up trading if they actually use it at the exact same time, or even a little bit before that, if that's what your answer is. If you're like, I'm going to Blanca ball back, you have that type of situation, right? You can't do it that way, though, because of how often headbutt is used as an anti-air. So in fact that Blanca is airborne, Honda can use his headbutt to counter that a lot more effectively.
Yeah, and we're also seeing the difference between a diamond and a master to an extent here, but, you know, Fox is still in this. That was a really good read right there, catching the sumo headbutt. Beware illusions maybe going to that well a little too often. It's a really good tool, but honestly, nobody's tool is so good that you can bring it out to every situation. You're gonna run into the square peg that you're trying to put into a round hole. You're gonna run into someone who is waiting on that headbutt, just like Fox is, but of course, you can't read them all.
You see, okay, nice, great air to air as well to be able to make sure that they can't get the pressure or the jump and coming in, but the spirit of the jungle is here. It's the spirit.
I like that thinking. Oh, but not quite enough. I was gonna say I liked his thinking with that neutral jump, but
where you both have to be concerned about what your opponent is going to do in a matchup like this, right? Because knockdown against either of these characters is very, very scary. You have to deal with the setup of potential Blanca ball, or not necessarily Blanca ball, but Blanca Chan that you have to worry about. You have to worry about Honda's command grab as well in a lot of these situations, and a lot of people are finding it's way more effective to just try and perfect parry against the Honda headbutts. It's way more effective to just try and see what it is that you can do to stall out the match against Honda, to make sure that he feels a little bit less comfortable using those headbutts and throwing them out of neutral.
Yeah, and Fox really good with the parries so far. We had a couple attempts at the headbutts there, and another one just there, and not perfect that time, but Fox has just been parrying and parrying and parrying. It's like that first game was a warm-up, and right now he's just crossing up. He is jumping illusions up. He caught a headbutt there, but still well ahead on life. Beware illusions, resetting into neutral, trying to find his way in. The way in is not presenting itself.
Let's see you, King, with the dry brush forward and the medium punch. Okay, yeah, get up the skies. Yeah, that chop has been good for at least 20 years. Yeah, you can't really get in on him that easily. You make sure that they actually go for the Oki as well. Like, you're nice, I like it. Using the stereotypical Blanca leap and going for the neutral drum just to bait out in case they did do anything. And in Honda's case, he did. He went for the throw, and that's going to net into it.
I am liking the thinking, though, in general, that Beware Illusion has been so threatening in the neutral and on this horizontal space, so take things to the air. Force his eyes up, and then once he's looking up, go low, go down. And here comes the super. I don't think you're allowed to bite in sumo, but this is not a sumo match, this is Street Fighter.
That's great as well. Good level 3, uses the EX headbutt, has the armor on it too. The flying torpedo coming in, and the reason why he's using the, I love it, I love that. Basing it in between the light and heavy headbutts, while he did end up losing the match, that's the adaptation it is that needs to be seen, to see if they can actually try and stop the headbutt from coming in. If you do it on the light headbutt, Honda has a chance to land and fully recover before you can actually end up getting the punish. He can drive impact you back. So I love the mix-up it is that Beware Illusion is showing with the adaptation.
Yes, that is some very good adaptation, some very good focus, and this is becoming a game where it almost feels like the first person to go to their big horizontal move loses, because they are both learning to read that attack. They're waiting on the Blanca ball, they're waiting on the headbutt, they are exploring alternate angles like those dive kicks that Fox is going to, and then they reset into the neutral. They have read each other, they know what they're going to do, and it's just a matter of who walks into the counter first. And so far, Fox is really good at changing up these levels and being harder to predict.
Absolutely, yeah. Moving around a lot more, but you gotta be careful of the sumo grab. Gives him the cheeks. Tries to move him towards the corner just a little bit more, but still, both of them are charging Blanca ball and headbutt respectively. Actually gets grounded from the crouch fierce off of the lead. That is interesting.
Whoa, catches him coming in with this.
More frequently.
That was a really, really good choice of movement right there. That was a really great movement, really great reads and reactions. Just a perfect anti-air headbutt, but not gonna have quite as much luck this time around.
Okay, nice. Gets the throw tuck. His hands off me. The dang dirty 8. Trying to find the best way possible to try and fight against the spirit of the jungle. But right now, sumo's prevailing pretty well. A great jump roundhouse and another perfect parry on the side of Fox. The spirit of the jungle is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty wildly.
Yeah, Fox is also getting a lot of mileage out of those drop kicks, that big dive kick from the neutral jump. It doesn't seem like Beware Illusion has a consistent answer to that. And look at this little brawl right in the pocket, trying to take that out of the equation altogether.
Come back in immediately, goes for the command grab, catches him like, and I understand it. It's the same as the lead, but that's a part of the myth. That's right, goes to the crouch fierce yet again to try and see if they can catch anything, but instead Blanca soars right over the head. Does get punished due to trying going for the sweep. Does use the EX Blanca ball as well. They're trying to chase down, but that is at least the third time that I have seen jump back roundhouse actually work out for Fox.
Fox has just clearly been blabbing that specific combo, that specific sequence again and again and again. And the old saying goes, I'm not afraid of the guy who practices 1,000 kicks once. I'm afraid of the guy who practices one kick 1,000 times.
And I think that the best thing is to keep in mind as well is the fact that he is using a lot of this aerial space to try and control a lot of what's happening. A great return drive impact as well from Beware Illusion. This is going to do an unbelievable amount of damage.
Wow!
He will not be dead.
He's not dead, but he's gonna be wishing he were. Look at all that damage, and that was just one combo. That was just like the first buttons he pressed of the round, and that was a perfect KO closing out the set. What a fight we just saw. And speaking of unpredictable, I'm not sure who's going to come out on top of this one. What do you think of the Luke and DJ matchup? KAIN versus AMIGO.
I actually think this is really, really good because both these characters have forward advancing normals, although it doesn't stop DJ Sway, EX Sway from being -1. Come on, Capcom. What's the plan here? What's going on? It's -1 on block.
I will level with you that I'm just happy to see Luke getting kicked in the teeth.
I mean, I can Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna. This is discourse for the commentators. I don't agree with that. What's going on with Luke? What's the hatred for Luke for? New era Street Fighter.
Honestly, I'm just memeing.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's fair.
I'm just making fun of him. I'm just having a bit of fun here in the booth.
Oh wow, great conversion as well. Wow, what a situation. What a character at that.
I like that AMIGO is not afraid of burnout. He will put himself in there if he sees a chance to hurt his opponent a little more, and that is going to be a really important drop. The wall spot was there, but the follow-up just was not. He just missed a huge opportunity, and AMIGO much more comfortable in burnout, but the anti-air is there. KAIN squeaks through the round. That was some really good reads on his part.
I don't know why he didn't go for the level 1 or even the level 2 with that off of the wall bounce. It could have been a way safer way to sort of confirm a lot of that pressure. You could have had a really, really good thing going, especially in burnout. It would have slowed down the advantage and the gain on everything. I absolutely would spin the cash here. Oh no,
yeah.
Not gonna do it.
I think he thought that he just had it. I think he didn't think he needed to worry about the level 1. He didn't have to worry about the super. He was just, oh, I'll press the normal. He didn't have the spacing right. It just wasn't quite there. All right, bit of a neutral game there, putting himself pretty close to burnout, spending it all on the drive rush. Here comes that level 1 you were talking about. I don't think it's a level 1 anymore, but you know what I meant.
Yeah, going straight to Memphis. Wonderful level 3 from KAIN right there. Right now, still looking for an opportunity. Let's see what is there. Gonna go for the low 4. Tries to go for the throw, but walks straight out of it. Hey, privileged walk speed. We love Zoo.
And that critical art is right there. We know AMIGO can just whip that out whenever he wants. KAIN in burnout, but taking the fight to him, pressuring AMIGO. Getting a bit of a reset to neutral now. That is a lot of neutral jumping. He's waiting for the sandblast. Tried the cross up. It didn't work. KAIN, but here comes the critical art. Does it go in? It doesn't, but that throw is there. Wow.
Trying to go for the punish with the drive impact, but still gets the standing medium punch target combo, but trying to go for the punish with the drive impact, you could have ended it very, much more simpler. But I do love the fact that at least they were able to get the match. That's what's important there, because I know that would have done a stack of mental damage to them coming into this next game.
Absolutely. And that is incredibly important. You need to have that sense of momentum and that clear mental stack going into a new game, because if you go in there feeling like your back is against a wall, that's half the battle fought for your opponent already. That it's all about how you manage those nerves, that pressure. No money's on the line tonight, but a lot of pride is.
Yeah. How's that feel? You're dealing with -1. Although, it's on hit. So now I get to convert. Just throwing out the fireballs just at least towards the corner. Tries to do the EX to see if they can sort of fight back again. Those fireballs get the parry, but it's not going to change the frame data. No perfect parry, so he is still plus. He doesn't still have to watch out for that.
Yeah, AMIGO really likes trying to bait out those sandblasts with the neutral jumps, and it does work out for him this time. That was a really great cross up in the corner. If a few more of those, and this is going to be a tied up set.
Absolutely. So for AMIGO, utilizing a lot more of their normals here, using a lot of those neutral jumps, not only to just sort of go over the sandblast, but sort of offset the timing it is that KAIN's trying to set for themselves. And I think that's what is the most important here, right? Is trying to find an opportunity where you can find your moment. DJ's really good at picking those moments. A great air-to-air target combo there as well. It's not -1 anymore. Finds the hit. Oh, he's going to go for max damage here. Level 3?
Absolutely. He might have that level 3. He might spend it. It's right there. He could do it. He goes for the cross-up instead, but here it is in the corner. KAIN in burnout, and here it comes. Here it comes. That is going to be the game. We're looking at a tied set, everybody, and in what fashion?
So this is something that is interesting about Street Fighter 6 that isn't necessarily the case for a lot of other Street Fighters, or at least the Street Fighters it is that like we're more prominent in the limelight, is that there's a lot of checkmate situations. That being the case of like, hey, the game's over regardless of what it is that you do, and that was one of those situations. Had KAIN blocked it, I actually believe that it would have just chipped him out. It wouldn't have mattered in that scenario. I think he had to do the best it is that he could to bait it out, maybe backdash in some scenarios, but a great response in this next game here. Is a great
yes. Yeah, and speaking of adaptations, KAIN doing a great job taking the fight to AMIGO, but like you were saying right at the start of the set, DJ's always going to win that fireball war. KAIN relying too much on his sandblast, but maybe just kind of short of options. I mean, here he is in burnout all the way back in the corner, getting crossed up, and that was a really important whiff that he just whiffed. Yeah.
Good throw into the corner as well, trying to use a lot more of the parries, and Migo's trying to use a lot more parries, see if they can fish out a lot more. Same thing as before, that was a drive rush, but he actually got hit from that. Uses the level 2 as well. This is going to be dead. Charge up the punch, hits him with the e.honda, and ends up ending out the round. Very cartoony punch of his. Wanted up to punch the good old Popeye, I think.
Yeah, I mean, DJ's got Popeye, he's got JoJo, he's got a bit of everything. You know, he's just fighting a living cartoon character, which I guess you could say the same thing about Luke with those Popeye forearms, but it's a battle of cartoons, you know?
Damage does it nice, gets the anti-air as well, but once again, in a situation where they are burned out here. Oh, this gets the low sweep. Once again, you're back to the wall. You do have super, exactly. I was just mentioning that. Uses it right at the time it is that I mentioned it. You want to be able to do that. You don't want to be in a situation where you have to deal with drive impact against the wall. Getting stunned here would mean death.
Yep, and gotta deal with that drive rush. He does an admirable job blocking the cross-ups, but opening himself up for the fireballs, for the throw, trying to restore a sense of neutral, find that spacing, get him on the sandblast. Good job swaying away from AMIGO pool, though, trying to find a good way in. He is one good touch away from sealing the set, but not if KAIN has anything to say about this. One touch from either of them, and that is going to be the round. Who's taking it? Who's getting it? DJ, AMIGO pool, moving on ahead.
Yeah, I think the flash kick was not only a great way to interrupt pressure.
Starts to go after his opponent a little too much more, like he's trying to force them onto the back foot by just doing something they don't expect. And speaking of something they don't expect, I've seen 100 of these Marissa versus Honda matches, but Beware Illusion's trying to take the fight right to Papa. This is a really fun first round so far.
Plus range, can't challenge that, but does the EX make sure it's 2 hits. Had it been a normal headbutt, he would have been sent to the ER based off of Gladius alone. Fully charged Gladius instead can get in the cheeks. That's the sumo slam, and that's going to be a match, or at least a round, excuse me, for Illusion.
Yeah, Fawn here calling his shot for everybody in chat. Make sure you call him on that if he gets it wrong. I'm not going to, I'm a sportsman, but there is something a little wrong about seeing Marissa thrown around so easily.
Still trying to see what it is they can do here. Nice, yeah, oh, great jump in as well. This is going to be a good amount of damage, and will give her the OKS. Using down forward Fierce, tries to go for the command grab. I know that was definitely the command grab, but instead gets thrown out of it off of a punish counter.
And these are both fun characters to watch because they kind of play off the same playbook. They are both these very aggressive, pressure-oriented characters where you press one button wrong and they take half your life away. It's like watching a real sumo match because there's all this build-up to who's going to make the first move, and then before you know it, it is over in this catastrophic explosion of strength and violence.
Still looking for a good drive rush, trying to create stuff. Oh my goodness. His life flashed before my eyes is what just happened. I saw the glass. He has come through and ate that damage. I was like, oh Jesus. Like he's about to die. Like he's about to eat up this damage. Drive gauge is about to get lost, but still sumo is prevailing. Tries to go for the stand. Fears to at least get the anti-air, but not going to find it there. Where are you going? Straight to the ER. That's a lot of damage you're going to be eating from that command grab.
And Papa needs to make that happen a lot more because Beware Illusion doing a good job forcing restoration of neutral. That punish counter is there for Papa. Might be able to get the round off just that, but not if they aren't a lot more careful. Here comes the headbutt, blocking it this time.
Yes.
Armoring through, punish, counter, KO. Papa needs to make a lot more like that happen.
Love it. This is the dorky stuff it is that I need to see, okay? This is the type of adaptation that I need to see. Because Marissa's anti-airs can be a little bit inconsistent against butt slam, you use drive impact to try and see if you can stall things out, see if you can actually get the anti-air situation, because he's sort of stuck there when he's falling down. You time it right, you get the drive impact anti-air. Of course, you can use crouch fierce, but in that specific scenario, because of how Marissa's hitbox works, she swings back a little bit and then does the hit. So it moved her in the perfect position to be able to get the butt slam. Well done. Wow. Chef's kiss. Great decision making.
That is what I was talking about with thinking 3, 4, 5 moves ahead. You do a string like that when you know where you're going to be 10 seconds later, 20 seconds later, 30 seconds later, and that might be all Papa needs. The low jab is there, and we're looking at a tied set off that one adaptation. That is how fast these games can go.
The more things change, the more things stay the same. And I have never known a Street Fighter game where Honda's hands have ever been plus in my life. His light version is -4. His medium and heavy versions are both -8. Punish that if you see Honda use hands. If he's slapping you for a while and block stun, it's -8. Don't even worry about it. Just hit him. Smack him in his mouth. He'll get punished for it.
Well, it doesn't seem to be working very well for Papa yet, but I say that, and here comes the commentator's curse with that punish counter, and that's just beautiful to see in action. It looks so satisfying to land one of those. But armoring through, another one in return. Here comes the Tachi-Ai. Beware illusions with the hands, with the headbutt. Just a stream of punishment, and that Miss Gladius might be a game changer. Yet Beware illusions is so good at baiting his opponents into whiffing. You can see that he has such great command over spacing, over making his opponents commit to something that they don't have as much room for as they think.
Dealing with somebody as big as Honda is, despite his short stature, waddling at you as a penguin when he's using drive rush is absolutely terrifying, because you know he's getting plus frames, you know he's getting some grimy stuff. Great level 3 as well from Illusion, just to make sure that they are on the back foot here. This is guess for game, depending on the hit from Honda. Oh no, yeah.
Perfect KO. And that's another one. Another perfect KO from Beware Illusions. That's his second of the stream so far, I believe.
Then it's going to go past him like we saw right there.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot more opportunities for that, because Beware Illusion's taking on AMIGO Pool now. No chance for a rest for Illusion, but I mean, in sumo, do you get the rest? No. You do a match and you get right back up there for more training and taking the fight to AMIGO Pool in a way that few have managed to do so far.
Yeah, she's in the drive rush. Actually, I love it. Yes, Illusion. See, this is that dorky stuff I love to see, man. This is it. That's why I love these games. Using the drive rush and then immediately doing light punch to stop their momentum instantly to see if they could either, because they were expecting a button from AMIGO, but the distance was already too much. So instead they're like, okay, I'm just going to end up taking the space and walking forward. Great butt slam as well. Still lots of plus frames. You have to be careful about Honda approaching here, and that's a headbutt to start what could be the end of the round.
Those are some great parries from AMIGO, and he's going back to what he was doing against KAIN with the frequent neutral jumps to bait something out, but I don't think he's going to enjoy as much success with it. I say that, and there comes the wake up, and that was a really painful wake up, but look at how thin his life bar is, and yep, he comes down, neutral jump, headbutts there, round over.
Oh yeah, a really, really good time as well. Like, just see sort of both these players adapt a little bit of the wait and bait at the start of the match, just to see what it is that can go down here. What option are they going to try and go for? Rotate, get your hands off. Hey, social distancing, we're still in COVID era. Gotta be careful about that. Headbutt, still not going to be able to find a mark here, but instead, it will be able to chase him back down to the corner. A great challenge.
Yeah, that was an exceptional challenge, and might be able to counter it. Yep, driving through the drive. There comes the punish counter into the machine gun upper. AMIGO Pool very much still in this fight and not at all intimidated by Beware Illusion, just drive rushing straight up to him.
Yep, that's what you gotta be careful, bro. That's what I was saying. Spend all that cash. You are actually just dead. Spend it all. You're
Here
dead.
it comes.
Absolutely. Show him, Big Yokozuna. You know how disrespectful you gotta be to make a ring of fighter out of somebody's own sandals? Like, out of somebody's own feet? How crazy is it?
Well, that's the power of an Ozeki, and you know, a bit of sumo trivia, they would call that throw a Tsukami Nage. It's very rare because it takes so much strength to just pick somebody up bodily off the ground and throw them over like a barrel of hay. I mean, I've only seen it once or twice in actual sumo, but Honda makes that stuff look easy.
Absolutely. A great parry as well. Let's see what it is they can do, throwing out the double booms for the most part. Trying to fake things out, seeing if they can try and find something, looking for a bigger punish, see what it is that is doing. I love the where. Hey, I'm telling you, you have to learn at some point. you cannot do that. You will get hit every time. You have to be careful about what you choose to drive impact against a headbutt. Oh wow, a great hit as well. So much damage. Whoa. Level 1. That's at least 40-45%.
They are both showing a great command over their parries, but it's just not going to be enough for AMIGO Pool unless he makes something happen here. He has to get away from this pressure and stop fighting him like he was fighting KAIN. I mean, Beware Illusion is throwing him around like a ragdoll, and there's that one sliver of life, and here we go. Beware Illusion on set point.
Blocks the drive rush, but doesn't get a punish. Hey, chat, just to make sure that everybody knows that drive reversal in any way, shape, or form, if they ever do that, it is always -8 if you block it. You have 8 frames to be able to punish it. That's the most important thing to keep in mind. With that, they instead go for the throw to try and get more of a confirmed punish, but you do have a lot of time once you actually block that drive reversal. You just gotta be ready for it is all. Some drive reversals recover faster than others, actually.
And some faster than others indeed. And baiting out the sumo headbutt, getting him into the corner. That's a really good juggle from AMIGO. He'll manages to drop it. A butt drop to counter the jump in. That was a really clever move from Beware Illusion, but it might not be enough to save this round. But I mean, of course, he does have the whole set ahead of him, even if he does drop this round. That is the unfortunate reality of being that far ahead. AMIGO Pool taking the round, but got a long hill to climb.
Unfortunate. Ends up getting flash kicked for the most part. Still being in a situation where you try and go for the jump. My goodness, man. Yeah, gets a good hit. What in the wall carry? At least keeping them back for the most part. Still trying to see what they can do with the sweep. Almost got mixed up there. Almost mixed himself up, but AMIGO does block correctly.
Still very happy with these neutral jumps, but it pays off that time. Able to sucker Beware Illusion in. Might be able to. Oh, here it comes. That's not going to kill, obviously, but that is a big chunk of guaranteed damage. And what that's going to do is it's going to interrupt AMIGO Pool's momentum and throw off his entire mental stack. You see him try to restore things by drive rushing in, but here comes Beware Illusion. But this time it does pay off for AMIGO Pool. 1-1 set now.
Was stuck in headbutt animation when he got jumped over and then got machine gun punched. Like, that's so unfortunate. He ended up in the corner and wasn't able to recover enough with the jump, but AMIGO at the perfect spacing to be able to actually knock, like, to hit him with machine gun. What kind of? I've actually never seen that before. Wow, that was unbelievably meaty and ends up using the flash kick to try and get out of that situation too. Okay.
Yeah, I've said it a few times now. AMIGO Pool very, very willing to spend all that meter and put himself in burnout. Not afraid of burnout at all. It's come back to bite him a round or two here or there. It might be cost him a game once or twice, but he's gotten a lot of results out of it so far. And you gotta like that he's just not afraid to spend that meter.
Nice, great hit, and good confirm as well from AMIGO. AMIGO just sort of playing, like, punishing things that you normally wouldn't see people punish. Using the headbutt and then using the prowess and the powerfulness of that standing fierce from DJ to sort of get the hit, get the confirm, and get a conversion. It's not something it is that most characters can do, but hey, DJ can. It's the power of the rhythm.
Yep, I mean, fighting games in a lot of ways are rhythm games if you think about it. You've got the flow there, you've got to read what your opponent's doing, react to their moves, make sure that you're not stepping on their toes, you're not letting them step on yours, and you're not getting a 400-pound man butt dropping on you.
Yeah, oh, great, perfect parry. Not really going to find much here. Instead, just going to go, yep, take the plus frames. Go for that perfect parry once again. Is he going to use the level 1? Wait, is he spinning wait, why is he spinning?
He's got critical air. He's got critical air, but no! Not even getting a chance to think about doing it. Just sumo headbutt seemingly out of nowhere. Catches him driving in, though. That leading with the neutral jump. I criticized it once briefly, but it does continually pay off for AMIGO Pool. I mean, they're both on set point now, and Beware Illusion very far behind on life.
I don't even know what to say about that. They do end up getting the level 3 for AMIGO, so this is going to be a huge damage. I saw Illusion challenge with crouch light punch twice into a move that's -1. You are braver than me, sir. I gotta be hats off to you, because absolutely not. You wouldn't see me doing that. That's a jump scare. I'm not doing that. Great jump back.
What a way to take the set, too. I mean, a neutral jump into a punch. All right, and we are in our first to 3 of the stream. Chilo versus Mako T. Good to see them back in action, and we're going to see some more of that. We're going to see some more of what Honda can do against such a tricky, overhead, slippery character. You know, going over, going under, all the dive kicks. It's almost like a diet DJ. It's like if you can fight against Jury, you can fight against DJ to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent, I would say. I do agree with that to an extent. I would say that, like, yes, while that is the case, they both have these very heavy rushdown styles. What you have to look out for in both of these characters is drastically different, even though their playstyles can be similar. Like, you have to look out a lot more for their low forwards. While DJ's low forward is just a sweep, you have to be looking out more for a standing fierce. At certain ranges, you can actually crouch under it. It'll whiff. It's a high move, so at certain distances, you will be able to just duck right under that. But as for Jury, she doesn't have moves like that. You have to be careful about the setup that you're about to see now with her Fua stock. She gets the hit, If she ends up getting the block, she doesn't quite find it there. The setup that she has off of normal Fua stock, as long as she has one and does the light kick projectile, she is plus hit. There is no challenge at all. She is free to do what she feels like, the same way that Honda is free to do with the level 3 as soon as he finds the hit confirmed. This might actually be dead. Oh, it's not. A sliver
quite,
of...
but whew, about as close as it gets without being the real deal. And of course, Mako T has that critical art, able to pay kind in kind. Not gonna get to do it. Running right onto that slap. That's gotta hurt. I mean, you were so close to pulling that round out, and you just get caught coming in, and you're gone.
And I think that's what's interesting too, is that people are becoming more and more adaptive to raw drive rushes. Don't let somebody get away with that. It can be kind of hard to time, depending on how good of a drive rush button they have is, depending on the character, but don't let them get away with it. You still have a good chance to be able to react. You see the green flash, you're getting punished for it. That's just sort of how it goes.
Yeah, and you can also use it to condition your opponent and get them ready to react to the dash, to the drive rush, and then you pull out whatever you're going to pull out, like that sumo headbutt right off the back of the drive rush that just sealed that last round, which is, of course, now outdated because now we're in the next round. So we got a little carried away there. But a lesson in miniature right there with the drive rushes. I agree. You know, the story of the beta and stuff was drive rush. Now you're seeing people learn how to deal with it.
Nice. Yes, absolutely love that. Not really bit confirmed, but great reaction as well from Lord Mako. Just making sure that they actually have the drive impact ready to go. Doesn't find a big confirm, but does at least drive impact back. So they are stuck in the corner. Absolutely, the level 3 is coming. I wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that even though that Shiloh landed that drive impact, they did not go for a big combo. They threw them backwards towards the corner to maintain that corner position, because it doesn't matter what character you are. Some characters have an easier time fighting out of the corner than others, but that position, that mid-round start position with your oppressor being to the left and you being to the right, whatever the case may be, with your back to the wall in the corner, is so hard to fight out of because they cover so many options just by standing there.
Yes, absolutely. And I really liked that big exchange that we started the round with. That was just so many reactions so fast, all in a row, all perfectly timed. And Chilo came out the worst for it, but that was incredibly impressive stuff from both of them.
Mako doing pretty well with not only controlling the space, but making sure that they utilize their aggression. The thing about the interesting thing that people think about is that when they hear of Rushdown, they think of a gorilla. They think of Unga Bunga style, but the best way is that I can describe Rushdown is controlled chaos. That's what it is. You have to be aware of what it is you're using to set up your offense. What am I going to do after I get this hit? What am I going to do once I actually set up for this type of stuff? And control chaos is the way to sort of try and do it. Great EP as well on the side of Mako, but a great EX headbutt back.
Yeah, that whole round was just putting what you said into motion. We saw Chilo's control of the space. We saw Chilo keeping Mako looking up, down, keeping them stuck in the corner. Every time they came out of one animation, there was another attack coming right at them. They barely had a chance to breathe there, and you could tell Chilo wasn't just hitting buttons. Every single move was calculated. Every move was planned out. They knew what the end game was going to look like before they even started playing.
Okay, looking for that, but at the most part, man, just to get the butt slam. Cheeks coming in, orbital shoots currently coming in. Nice, great hit. So on the standard medium punch, just decides to end it a little bit short, cut the combo a little bit short, and just make sure that they actually use the level 3. Won't burn them out, but they'll have a sliver left. Oh, they will burn them out. Wow, actually, that's crazy. And they get the stun. This should be done. You burn all the resources. Oh, but dropping it, and the critical art is there. I mean, Chilo is on set point, so this parry might be a very bad thing for Mako. That comeback is coming. The drive rush was there. The hands are there. The sweep is there. The headbutt, the armor. Oh, he's not dead. Yeah.
Not dead yet, but there is the critical art. There are the hands. The critical art is coming. That is going to do it. The ring of fire is out. Lord Mako T, thank you for playing Chilo. 3-0.
Chilo did a really good job of being able to do that. He actually got the empty jump low confirm, the empty jump light kick, and will be able to deal with this type of stuff. Because even in the situation it was that we saw, even at CEO earlier, like people still weren't having effective answers for Blanca. Blanca is a really good character. Anna's a really good character. DJ on the screen is a really good character. Great confirm as well. Tons of damage on the board for AMIGO.
Yes, good thinking jumping through that attack from Lord Mako, though, getting through the burnout and just a single neutral jump, and that was the end of the combo. They were able to fight out of the corner, but that is a scary sliver of health, and this might be a very short night at the office if Lord Mako can't get out of this situation, can't start making something happen. But they are definitely on the right track with that flash. Yo, never mind.
Flash kick. Just sort of get out of the way of things. Just sort of course, use your invincibility frame to try and set up something for you. That's hilarious. Just because Yuri got the dash off first. She got the drive rush off first, so she is the one that's going to win that exchange over. Oh, you can punish that, and yeah, she went for the jump back. Had you do crouch medium punch, it would have worked. I believe machine gun blow punch is actually -10, I believe. It's very missing. They just use it on block like that.
Woo. And spending the whole bar to get through that, but that was not at where Mako wanted to be. Not the situation they were hoping for. And here it comes, cashing that in, cash it in early, cash it in often. I love how eager people are with their super bar in this game so far. As soon as that comes out, it's getting spent. I mean, why mess around? Why not just go for the guaranteed damage, right?
Yeah. If ancient FGC rule, if you've got the cash, spend it, right. If you have all that bar, make sure that you use it to put yourself in either a winning situation or you win the round. You win the game, you win the set, or you win the tournament. You got the bar, spend it. All that green is not going to be useful in the long run of things. I'm surprised they didn't actually go for a level 3. They might be looking for a different confirm here. That's a low, doesn't actually challenge off of that either.
I love Lord Mako's willingness to challenge AMIGO, getting right in there in the center, fighting out of the corner, taking a super art for their trouble, but, you know, just not being intimidated. You know, DJ feels like you're walking into a whirlwind of hurt, and Lord Mako T, all credit to them, not winning this game, but they're not scared.
A lot of people haven't been checking that light flash kick either from DJ that allows him to get another aerial button. It's like he was just jumping in. A lot of people who have been fighting AMIGO haven't been challenging that, and I think he's been getting away with murder a lot of the time, especially considering certain positions as well. But a great wall splat to sort of open things up here for Mako.
Yes, absolutely. AMIGO back to his feet, but Mako, good spacing control, gets is able to avoid this. I just got mentally turned around. I am very sorry. It's like 90 degrees here, so I'm getting cooked. I'm getting cooked alive in the booth. But a very good round from Mako, who's not being cooked. They're doing the cooking.
Nice, gets the hit. Could actually get the confirm over here. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Gets the damage, gets the kill. Yeah, that's just DJ damage, all right. You deal with a situation like that from DJ, and any sort of anti-air from him, any sort of launcher from him, you're going to, even without the level 3, you're at least going to be eating like, what, 40% off of a stray hit?
Yeah, I loved that mid-air trade they did, but so far the momentum has been all AMIGO. Lord Mako has to get out of this corner, does manage to reset things, does manage to break the momentum a little. That was a good flash kick into a drive rush. AMIGO pulls, parries, and punishes, and punish counters still so on point. This guy is a defensive master, but not going to be able to defend against that super.
Nice, yeah. Uses the raw level 3. Might actually put them in burnout as well. No, okay. I've been like 0 for like 6 at this point in terms of what has and what hasn't been burned out. I've either been really close or not close at all. So that's a great throw as well for Mako to stand out there.
Yeah. This game is so fast that it feels like it's really hard to read what happens next. Even if you know what the inputs look like, you know what the animations look like, it's like, what's going to happen when they do this? Who the heck knows?
Nice one, goes for the throw, not going to quite find it. Instead, just looking for lots of stray buttons. Gets the hit, crouch medium punch as well to get a little bit of extra damage, but no guaranteed confirm.
All right, good restoration to neutral. Lord Mako backing off a bit, picking the fireball ward. Not recommended against DJ or against AMIGO, but a good flash kick. Good job getting in there. I like the thinking with the drive rush as AMIGO is down, but that player, oh, whiffed the grab. That is going to be for free. Lord Mako backing into the corner and then drive rushing straight back into AMIGO's face. A nice throw, and the situation is reversed.
Tied up right now against Mako. No way he hit another button right. Wow. Just the awareness as well. Trying to stagger too many buttons. You hate to see a situation like that happen. Staggering a lot of buttons, using the raw level 3 to challenge the fact that they're staggering buttons so that they actually do get the hit off of the raw level 3. That's curtains if I ever did see it. We're heading into game 3 here currently in losers finals.
Yeah, and AMIGO Pool just knows when to turn it up. It seems like every time the chips are down for AMIGO Pool, they figure something out. They just pull out some crazy combo. They pull out the raw super, and suddenly it's all his game, all their game. And Lord Mako T just trying to keep themselves alive, getting forced back. There's some flashes of brilliance here, like with that flash kick, jumping over the fireball and the drive rush and the sweep, getting a bit of a counter going. A few more like this, and maybe they can still count themselves in this.
Interesting that Jury's deciding to sort of go in here. Mako's playing a more aggressive playstyle despite the fact that they are burned out, but now that it's evened a little bit and now going to be in Mako's favor, I think it's all right. But I think it was interesting how they were sort of trying to be a little bit more aggressive with their playstyle, gets the hits and lands the round for themselves to at least give themselves a chance at putting one up on the board.
Yeah, the chance is always there. Anything can happen in Street Fighter. One of the beautiful things about this sport and this community is on any given Sunday, I honestly believe anybody could probably beat anybody else, aside from something crazy like you put Daigo in with someone who's literally never played before. But so far, no quit in Lord Mako. There has been no quit in Mako this entire night, and they are trying to make something happen here. Both of them with level 3, both of them decent drive meter. We've got the Feng Shui engine on level 2. Lord Mako trying to take the fight to him.
Yeah, they're going to pop in the level 3 here? No, instead going to try and conserve it for the opportunity it is that you might have. Posed to you here, goes for the throw, and instead it gets whiffed. Shimmy due to the neutral jump, going for a lot of parries, but all of that defensive options it is that's been trying to be used for AMIGO. If you don't just chip him, you get him deserve this, absolutely. Listen, Mako, I don't know if you in this chat or if you listen or whatever the case is, if you don't chip that man next time when he's in burnout, I swear.
Yeah, that was...
You had a billion different opportunities. I know you can do it. We have amazing players here. I know you're one of them. Chip that man next time. Don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
I was just talking about Mako's fighting spirit, but that was a really questionable call. I mean, the super was right there. The level 3 was there. Didn't cash it in. Kept battering away. Didn't take the chip. That was Mako's round to lose. Mako's game to lose. And now AMIGO's on set point. AMIGO did not need to be in this situation right now.
Throwing him towards the corner, tries to drive rush in. She's got the Healy strapped on, gets the +2 to throw into the corner once again, allowing themselves to be in a good spot. Crouch fierce as well. This is going to be pretty good damage, and Jury's still in burnout. Mako, it would be best if you would just block. What's actually really interesting too here, or at least just neutral jump, is that if you jump back, you have terrible recovery on your drive gauge. It recovers the slowest
jumping
out of any
in.
other
Why
option.
would you jump in? Why would you jump in there? Jumps in again, and AMIGO Peril moving on ahead.
Due to Feng Shui, due to her Fua stocks, you could have ended the round a lot sooner, but here, what should have been, right? I think you did a phenomenal job anyway. You did an absolutely amazing job still, despite that.
Yeah.
Man, DJ's getting tossed right now. This is insane.
We didn't even get a chance to like switch tracks and go into the game at hand. As soon as we were talking about that, that was just absolute obliteration, sumo dominance. But AMIGO Pool desperate to return the favor, eager to repay Chilo in kind. And something to keep in mind as we're in this point in the tournament, this has been a huge bracket. There were a lot of people. It took a long time to get to top 8. These people have climbed a very, very tall mountain to get where they are right now.
Nice, great perfect parry once again. AMIGO showing once again the prowess in those perfect parries and how often he's used to perfect parrying against Honda. Clearly has experience in this matchup as well. Trying to see any sort of enemies they can find. Throwing other projectiles, seeing if they can bait anything else, seeing if they can catch a random headbutt, anything that might be happening. Once again, another parry. Every time it is that we've seen these two play, we are seeing a lot of situations here in Grand Finals that end up with AMIGO parrying the hell out of Chilo Fury. Or just any Honda in general. He parried a lot out of Illusion as well. See, once again, he's aware of the time. He knows the time.
Yeah, AMIGO has taken these perfect parries and reduced them down to an art, into a science, and those two are not mutually exclusive. AMIGO keeps whipping them out and knows when to do it, but the thing with Honda is you only need to slip once and the bear is ready to get you. The throw is here, you are getting dumpstered, and as you were saying, imagine being dragged so hard that your foot makes a trail of fire.
Looking for the flaming. Oh wow, what an interesting and unique change to Honda, as if the character wasn't already strong enough. Butt slam, whether it is EX or not, or punish counter, great EX headbutt. We saw that actually earlier in the set, using it to sort of deter DJ from throwing a lot of those fireballs. Throws out the fireball, uses the EX headbutt. It has up to 2 hits of armor. You'll be chilling if you use it to actually try and snuff out somebody's projectile and just use as a really, really good wake-up option.
Yes, absolutely. After seeing so many people try to win the fireball war with AMIGO or try to like out jump him, it's refreshing to see somebody just go screw your fireball and EX headbutt straight through it. And honestly, Chilo's whole game plan, it's not just mindless chaos, it's this controlled chaos that you were talking about a couple of sets ago, but it's refreshing to see how it's basically screw your defensive options. I'm here to do sumo.
Great hit from Honda as well. Just overall great awareness from Chilo Feet, doing a good job. As the matches seem to go on, there's a lot more adaptation. AMIGO still showing off why they're ready for those parries too. Goes for the throw that time. The last time they did that, they actually got a shimmy, but unfortunately got a fireball point blank that didn't even hit and wasn't enough to be able to punish. But AMIGO's definitely going to keep that in the back pocket, especially since we've seen it happen before.
Yes, and we've got a bit of a reset to neutral going on here. AMIGO bringing those jumps back, but you cannot out-jump Honda, putting himself into burnout with these hands. And here comes the super again. Spend it early, spend it often. Welcome to the dojo, Mr. DJ. It is time to learn some sumo. And Chilo about to go on ahead to a second game. AMIGO flickers of brilliance here, but barely in this set so far.
Really good just awareness to be able to use a lot, and that's what's like super funny is that like you can be like, okay, well, using the butt slam in the corner, just not only trying to create a situation where it's like, okay, this person's blocking a lot, I want to see what it is that I can do, I want to apply pressure to them from the sky. We are talking about a situation where Honda has weird interactions like that with certain characters, DPs, and situations where it'll just whiff, and Honda's the one that gets the punish, and you're the one stuck looking stupid with the clown shoes and clown out.
Yeah. I think it's because even in his normal neutral stance, Honda's fighting out of a crouch because, you know, the traditional sumo crouch before they start a bout. So I'm seeing normals and stuff just kind of whiff. They just go over his head. And speaking of over the head, Chilo catches AMIGO trying to prep a fireball, trying to read him coming in, and just decides, no, enough of that noise. I am just going to drop on your damn skull.
Nice. Still looking for a headbutt here.
Looking for the headbutt.
Trying to bait things out. AMIGO's looking for some sort of option from Chilo here, but not quite finding what they're looking for. And there's no whiff punish either. That could be
not quite able to get there, but that was a little weird hitbox, and Chilo on set point. I mean, this is just Chilo, but AMIGO not willing to be discounted. AMIGO showing that he got this far for a reason, not gonna give up, not gonna count himself out. He's gonna keep trying to catch that headbutt coming in. He's gonna go for the drive rush. He has, that was actually Chilo's throw escape. I was gonna say he has the techs, but he's fully capable of teching too. He sees what he's going for. He's trying to bait that jump in, but the problem is he just doesn't have the response ready. He gets him to jump in, and then what?
On the hits. not punishable either, even not on EX, but a great air-to-air as he's going to maintain corner positioning, but Chilo is ready to fight their way out. Great perfect parry, definitely win level 3 here. Yeah, no, the parry scaling is a lot. You definitely just want to find ways to end it without having to put yourself in a very upsetting position. A great jump in as well, but no confirm on the side of Chilo.
There's a critical art at any moment that could come. Not going to be this moment. Chilo going down. AMIGO keeping himself alive a little longer, but he's got a long way to go because this is a situation, as they say, his opponent has to be perfect once. AMIGO has to be perfect every time now. He has to make every right read. So far this round, he's actually well on his way. That was a beautiful super to even things up a bit. A daunting life lead, but we've all seen Hondas in this situation before. We've all seen Chilo get out of this situation before, driving him back into the corner. There comes the parry. Burnout is here, but he's ready. He's got the hands. He's got the super. This is not going to kill, I do not think, but it's going to hurt like it almost did. AMIGO back against the wall, slammed into the dirt, back into the corner. The burnout is still there. That is going to be
not death yet.
Not yet.
One more exchange.
One more exchange, and that was it.
More press. Well done, EX. Honda, Chilo's the one that ends up taking it